Hey up and welcome back to another video. If you remember from last week, I had a trailer come in from a customer with EBS fault. I diagnosed that fault to be a failed modulator valve. I'm going to fit that valve now. What I've done already is, because the unit's completely dead, I can't pull the files out of it to flash it into the new modulator valve. But I have got a trailer on site, which is right here, that's identical. Axle setup, tyre size, ride height, censored location. Basically it's the mirror image trailer, just different curtains essentially. And what I've done is I've plugged this trailer into the gel test and I've copied its modulator file. So all I'll do is, so that's now saved onto my gel test. So when I've fitted that new valve, I'll flash that file into it, but I'll edit the chassis number so that trailer's chassis number is in the file, if that makes sense. But we'll go through it in the video. So I've already copied the gel test. Essentially all I've done is connected the gel test up, gone into Haldex Gen 2, click parameters, and then click copy to gel test and save the file into the tablet. Simple stuff that is. And then when I have fitted the valve, all I'll do is copy file to ECU, connect it to that trailer, and it'll flash. I'll load this file up off this tablet and flash that into the new ECU, and then I'll be able to click, I believe it's modified parameters, vehicle data, and chassis number, and then I put my expert code in, which I can't show you, but I'm not doing it on this trailer. I'll put my expert code in, and then I'll be able to put that trailer's chassis number in this file, so if anyone wants to ever plug into that trailer, it would make sense. But anyway, that's enough talking, that's a lot of talking in it. Let's get to the job at hand. Kick this one out, drag that one in. So we've got the trailer on the pit, and this is the valve we're replacing. It's a Haldex Gen 2 modulator, I believe. But that looks to be no, it's a Gen 3. But it looks to be a remanned valve. That doesn't look very old. Now this isn't my trailer, it's a customer trailer. And I know they've recently purchased it. So figuring out who's supplied that valve and who's fitted it, it's gonna be a fair amount of effort, because I do know they've only just purchased it. So you'd probably get warranty on that if I knew where it came from, but I don't. So what I'm gonna do, basically it's completely dead. I don't know if I said that in a previous clip, but it's completely dead. Power to it, it doesn't do no, don't click, don't fart, don't do nothing. So we're changing it for that one. A genuine Haldex one, which I know better. But it'll last them a couple of years. They're absolutely terrible. Internal pressure sensors, amongst many of them, many a fault with them, but yeah, they're not very good valve. Not very good. The only good thing about them is I've changed that many now, I can pretty much do it with my eyes closed. So I don't cut any of the cable ties. I basically unbolt everything, and all the pipes hang in a way that you can't really get it wrong, and it's just simple stuff. So what I'm going to do now is, I've already got the file out of the other trailer's ECU. I'm going to drain the air tanks, and I'm going to whip all these air pipe fittings out. I'll set you up on the stand and start unplugging everything. That's basic stuff. If you have a problem remembering where pipes go, use pen, use Tipex, use cable ties, you do whatever, pictures on your phone, whatever's necessary for you to remember where them pipes go. Or if you've got the added advantage of having 119 more of these set out there with a very similar setup, if you really mess it up, you can just go and have a look at another trailer, can't you? Anyway, let's get somewhere. Because I have the attention span of a goldfish, that's how I drain air tanks. Saves me having to stand there and mess about. I can go and do something else. So my air tanks are all drained now, and the feed that comes from my air tanks to the valve is actually disconnected. The only thing I'm going to do before I remove this green pipe, which is suspension, is drop the air suspension down on the valve to air out the bags as much as I can. Then I'll remove that. It just stops that blowing loads of dust in your eyeballs, doesn't it? So I'm going to do that now. So that's the old valve off. Now I'm just going to put it next to the new valve and whip out whatever blanking bungs are relevant. So on this new one, if you look here, I need that blank out of there into there. Other side we're sweet. Front we're sweet, but I need to remove that, and that. And then we're ready to chuck it back on. And with this valve here, normally, this has obviously been fitted not so long ago. I don't know what make it is. It looks like a Haldex, but it's not. I reckon it's been remanufactured. Anyway, I'm on a time limit with this video because this is going on the TikTok too. We persist to keep looking. Yeah, I think it's genuine, you know. I think it is genuine. Anyway, so normally if these are an older valve, these wind out the block when you try and undo them. So these will still be stuck in the little bracket up there. I just normally cut them off and put, obviously the new one comes with valves, so just put nuts on. This one actually came off because it don't look like it's been fitted long ago. So I'm gonna get 3 new nuts and washers for here, get that chucked in the chassis and repipe it up exactly the same way as I took it to bits. Reverse order, just gotta whip that bung out. Put it in there. I've chucked a new O-ring on this blank because that one just looked a bit sorry for itself. So that's the new valve bolted on. Now what I'm going to do is build the air up, set the suspension right out back to where it should be, and then plug in the gel test to the headboard, and we will flash that file into this ECU, and I'll show you how that bit's done. But yeah, if you've took yours to bits and you forgot how it goes, screenshot that, because they're all the same. There you go. So what I'm going to do here is hit copy to ECU, and then I've got to put my expert code in, which I can't show you, so I'm going to put that brings me to this page. I'm going to hit the tick and then hit the tick again. It's going to ask me to try find the file which I saved earlier under. It's not there. Where's that gone? It's that one, isn't it? It's that one. Yeah, trailer 87. So that one, open that loads it into here. Hit that tick. Basically just fires it from in thin air, just ping. And then once it's done all this, I'll have to perform an end of line test where it runs through a multitude of tests. I just follow the on-screen instructions, check everything's functioning as it should be, and essentially that's job done. So it's saying turn ignition off for approximately 10 seconds. So we do that. Ignition back on. Hit that. Then it comes up with this. Look, it is advisable or compulsory to perform an end-of-line test. Do you wish to continue? Yes. There's no faults in the system because it's a new ECU. And then I have to select which options we're going to test. I'm just going to select them all because I want to know if it's tickety-boo or not, don't I? Hit that, and then in order to perform and complete as many tests as possible, immobilize the vehicle, blah blah blah. I have to continue and rotate each wheel for at least 5 seconds. So I'm going to rotate them. It'll tell me which side, since a 1A, 1B, whatever, and then it'll tick it off. So the end of line test now finished. I'm just saving that file so I can print it off at a later date. I'm going to go back in now and change the chassis number on the ECU. Just to keep things straight, basically. So to add some extra confusion to the job, I noticed the pressures were ever so slightly different on the sticker on this chassis than on the other chassis, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm not a fan of messing about with brakes. I normally just pull the old file out because I've never actually got one dead before. So that's why I've been a bit more due diligent with this, and it's paying off. We got this sticker on the chassis. Obviously older traders, it would have come off by now. We got all these numbers, and I was looking through the data, and some of them were slightly off on the file I flashed in. So what I've done is the jowl test. I've gone into the parameters, and I've been able to change them. I've altered them on here. You'll be able to see. Oh no, it's actually, yeah, look. So what's in the ECU is 6.2. It should be 6. Braking pressure laden, braking pressure unladen, it was 1.8. It should be 1.5. And I've changed a few more up here too. If you look, unladen suspension pressure, it was 0.2, but it should be 0.15, etc. I don't know how much of a difference it will make, but I'm more comfortable knowing it's now perfect, exactly as it was. It took me a bit more time, but I don't want to mess about with brakes, I'll be honest with you. I want them to be spot on. I've also changed the chassis number in the file, and obviously altered them parameters. I will now save the new file I've just flashed in just then into my jowl test. So if I've ever got future problems, I've got it. I'll save it under the chassis number, and I've got it then for future reference. But yeah, it's took me a bit more time, but now my conscience is clear. I know it's bang on. So I'm just whipping this one up the runway that I've done the modulator on and modified the files. ABS light's not on the dash, so that's good. I'm just going to do an emergency stop like I did the other day. Yeah, I can hear it all pulsing. I heard all the internal straps slide to the front and slap the headboard. And the DAF didn't stall. So she's a good one. I'm happy with that. I know all my numbers are right now. Job's a good one. I am going to brake test it though, just cause. And then I'll print off that end of line report and clip it to the job sheet, sign it. I've done everything I can possibly do then. I've covered my ring piece, dotted all my I's, crossed all my T's. So, back in the workshop for a brake test after I've ripped it up here. So I've just done a brake test on it. It is empty, so it's kind of pointless, but at least I can see the brakes are actually working. I'll show you the results are on here. Obviously it's not met the percentages because it's not loaded, but I can see all my brakes are locking, so I know they're working. And I also know the ABS is pulsing, because when I did the road test, I could hear it. I'm happy with this. I've just got to knock a bill up for it. Yeah, we're going to park it up, knock a bill up, and then I've just got to go have a look at the owner's wife's car, Christine Highfield, if any of you know the family company. Just got a noise or something. So, go and have a look. I've just had a look around this little thing. I've ordered a service kit. She comes in every Tuesday to do wages, so I'm going to service it for her next Tuesday. She's going to do tyre pressures because it's got a slow puncher on that back corner, but she wants to go home in a minute, so her husband, the owner of the company, just keeps topping it up for her. So we'll get that puncher repaired next Tuesday and all. And she said it's squeaking when it goes in reverse, but I can't hear it. I've backed it forward and backward about 100 times and I can't get it to do it, so we'll Kodak that one. We'll let that develop. I'm just going to do tyre pressures quick, take it back round to her so she can go home, and then I've got some paperwork. I've been up and down and up and down and up and down in that Evoque, and I can't get the noise to come. I just spoke to Christine and she reckons it's horrific, and it does it every time she reverses it. She said it's embarrassing, but I couldn't get it to do it, so like I say, I'll be servicing it next Tuesday, so we'll have another look. But God knows what that is. It's definitely not the brakes. The brakes are in. Just checked them. No, the only thing I can think is brake pads have got like metal in them, haven't they? They're sintered. Whether the pad's just slightly sticking to the disc overnight, and then when she reverses out the drive in the morning. We've got something a little bit different this morning. We've had a DAF breakdown last Friday, got recovered from Cambridge, but the truck's full R&M. They recovered it back to my yard, so now I've got to get it up to the dealer for repair, because if we had it recovered to dealer, they would have recovered it to the nearest dealer, and we need to get the driver home. So we had it recovered to base. So now it's my task to get it up to the dealer with no gears. So it's got a box full of neutrals. I'm just at Bradshaw's to borrow their low loader. We work fairly closely with Bradders. Good relationship between both companies. We help each other out where we can. So I'm just here to borrow their low loader to then go load the truck onto it and take it up to Motor Scunthorpe, see what's the issue with it. So we've got a reverse, first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth gear. Everything above that does not sound good. So let's couple up to this low loader and go from there. We've got the goods. Now it's time to load her up. Let's go. She's a bit lazy, that one. For this truck I've got first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. I don't know if I've already said that. So easy one, I just drive it on. Otherwise I'd just have to connect up the Anson plug for the winch and then winch her on. Same thing, but just saves a bit of time, doesn't it? Done.
Days later.
You can hear me because it's super windy. We're on and gone. DAF dropped off. I heard a bloke mumble in the office something about range change synchro. Don't know, not my problem. So yeah, that's dropped off for repair now. I'll ask him what the fault is when I collect it, whenever that may be. But I'm going to run this trailer back. I didn't record out dropping the truck because the yard was busy. There was trucks everywhere. I was in the way. I just wanted to be in and out. And then I had to back out onto the road blind because there was nowhere to turn around. So good crack. And I'm starving because I've had no dinner or break or anything, and it's like 1 o'clock now. Forgot to bring my pack up. But let's run this trailer back and see what happens after that, you know what I mean? Living dream, eh? Living dream. 2006, and it looks 2-year-old. That's proper fleet maintenance, that. Clearly got a good set of fittings, it's not that tight. That's what we like to see. Anyway, thanks Bradshaw's, legends. Back to the yard. I actually gave it a wash yesterday because I couldn't see. My headlights were crap because it was that covered in muck. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have heard me speaking about that. I looked back on the footage last night of that low loader job. I didn't get enough footage really, did I? That was quite an interesting job and I was slack with the camera. But today, I've just been for MOT this morning. Trailer 52, I think it was. That's all passed, parked up. I've dragged this in. This is another MOT prep for Thursday morning. I've tapped round it. It wants 3 airbags, a level valve, curtain reflective tape. I've done a top marker light on it because that had been smashed. Just need to jack it up, check tyres and wheel bearings. So there's some good, decent few jobs to show you on this because I do a level valve conversion. I don't fit them plastic valves. You'll see. I'll talk you through it. So yeah, we'll get some footage today. I've also got that Evoque needs servicing today. I don't know if I'll get around doing it because this needs doing over that. And my work van needs brake pads and a service too. I've got all the parts in the shop. So let's see how we go. But it's like 10 o'clock now. I've had a busy morning with MOTs and running parts, ordering parts and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have a cup of tea, start cracking on with this trailer. Let's get it. Under this truck, I'm gonna change the middle axle airbags because they perished. I remember actually inspecting this last time and thinking this needs 6 airbags, but I only had 3 on the shelf. So I fitted the 3 I had and thought I'll get the other 3 next time because they're not like dangerous, they're just starting to perish like. So chuck these 3 axle airbags on. I'll show you how to do one. Easiest airbag you'll ever do in your life. the way I do it, maybe people will criticise it. I've done it like this for years, so it is what it is. So I'll show you that first. Then I've got a nice little level valve, but I've got a little hack here. So if you're fixing trailers, you would have come across them plastic level valves at some point. I don't refit them. I've got an alternative. Stick around for that one. So yeah, let's get these 3 airbags chucked on. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, let's get it. So I know you can't see the full shot here, but these BPW airbags are dead easy to change. This is the bit you're not going to like. So I'm going to clamp this air feed pipe off with the rag and some more grip. Some people won't agree with it. I've done it for years and never had a problem. You can argue MOT wise, because I'm squashing the pipe, it's a defect, but I always square it back up and I've never ever had a problem. I've never had one split or blow out or whatever. But if you want to do it your way, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to clamp this pipe off, which is going to seal up obviously any further air going into the bag. This trailer is not loaded, so there's not a great deal of weight on this bag. So I'm going to crack the air pipe fitting off, and as I'm undoing the other bolts, I'm going to let the air seep at the top. So that's just going to trickle out. Eventually the airbag will go flat. Then I'm going to use a 17mm impact socket, whip these 2 top nuts off, which you can get out with a 1/2 inch gun. Loads of space. So whiz these off. Like work. Worst case scenario with them, if they do round off, because they are a shallow nut, if you can get them off like, I don't know, a couple of mil off the chassis, you can just get a disc cutter underneath them, dead easy. Or if you're really struggling, just wash them off with the acetylene. And you need a 22mm socket for the bottom nut. Chase that out, and when that airbag's gone dead, that's it, bag's off, chuck new one on, simple as that. So when the airbag's finished leaking air out, I'll come back to you. Right, so that's the airbag about dead now. So I whip that fitting out, it's just trickling through. This just pull off, simple as that. Get a new one. Earlier. This is how I like to do it. Like I say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So if you've got a way you prefer to do them, then that's sweet and all. This is like hard work on that. Jeez. I chuck the top 2 studs in, put my nuts back on. These nuts are plenty good enough to go again. You can order fitted kits if you want to, but what's the point of fixing it if it ain't broke, you know what I mean? Nip these 2 up. Helps if you put the socket on the gun the right way. I've never done that before in my life. Now, I don't tighten them down, I leave them with a bit of wobbling. You're going to see in a minute. Whilst this is trickling, pop that back in, wang it in a few threads. What that's going to do is allow this bag to come down nice and slow. Put your bolt back in the same hole because there's 4 holes here. And as it comes down, because I've left them slack, it gives me opportunity to get it started before it bottoms out. So it's coming down nice and steady. It'll be a bit too steady, to be honest. That's that started. Chase that down. What you want to do with this bottom bolt is rattle it until it changes tone, because the sleeve inside the bottom of the bag actually moves. You just listen. You'll be able to hear the noise change. You probably won't, but I can. Change noise. So I know that that sleeve bottomed out on the trailer now. So if you don't do that, you'll end up, when it's full of air, the bolt comes loose. So watch out for that. Now I'm going to nip these 2 top nuts up and lock off the pipe. Don't need to be mad tight. Snip down. Tighten that up. Make sure your pipes stay pushed in your fitting, because they can walk out a bit. Nip that off, then nice and slowly release your mole grip so it don't fill the airbag too fast, because you don't want it going bang in your face. That's it. And then where I squashed this pipe, you can probably see that. I just true it up with my mole grips, so it's nice and round again. And you'll never know. And I'm going to repeat that for that airbag and that one on the near side middle. And then we'll get onto the level valve, but I'm not going to record these other two because
Same.
on the airbag, it's both on the middle axis. That one's already been done. Just to clarify, before you all come at me. Next on the list is this Haldex level valve, and a lot of you will know about these, but some of you won't. On these, the ports crack. It's something I noticed a few years ago, and the more I looked, the more I found. This one's very, very minor. They get really quite bad. I don't know if you can see it, but the port's cracked there, and eventually that fitting will just blow out. This one's not too bad. I've seen them where they're really opened up. So what I do is I switch these out for a Wabco version. You have got to rotate this to make the arm work because it's slightly deeper, but the fitting's wide straight in. The mounting bolts are exactly the same. It's almost like for like I say, you've just got to mess about with this a little bit so it stays straight. I'll give you the part number now for the one I fit, because these are crap. 5 years kaput maximum. They'll crack within 5 years for sure. It's a Wabco part, and that's the part number for anyone interested. So let's get that pulled off. And this one chucked on. That's the new valve on. It just bolts straight on. I've drained the air tanks, obviously. Dropped the air suspension when I removed that valve, so that allowed the air suspension to drain. Whipped my pipes off, whipped my mounting bolts off. I've set this rod the same length as the old level valve, which I'll show you in a minute. I've reused this old piece out of the old one because you don't get that with the new valve. So I'm going to pop this on, tighten them up, chuck my pipes on, and then I'm going to set the ride eye accordingly. I'll just show you the other valve. The valve I took off, just to show you why I took it off. That port's cracked, so eventually that fitting will just go kaboom. No good. That job buttoned up, adjusted, ride eye set, wonderful. Now I'll just consult the list and see what's left. I definitely know it needs a loaded brake test yet and an MOT wash, but I'm sure there was another job that I've been avoiding. So I'll have a look through this list and we'll see what's next. Yep. So I've just remembered what job I've been avoiding is. It's a long, tedious job, which, honestly, I'm not sure is worth the effort, but rules are rules. So I've got to replace all this reflective tape, because if you look, this bit's alright, it's lost all of its reflectiveness. So all that needs cleaning up, peeling off, and a new bit sticking on. And trust me, that is a long job. I'm going to see how I go. I might just stick another row underneath it to get a ticket on it, because I haven't really got, honestly, that'll take 4 or 5 hours. I'm not even kidding, on my own. And that's a big chunk of my day when there's only one of me. So yeah, we'll start cleaning it up, see how they come off. If it's an absolute pain, I'll just stick a row underneath it. It might look a pig, but get a ticket on it. I'll still earn some money. If they come off alright, I'll attack it. But yeah, it's a long old job. If I had like an apprentice or more staff, I wouldn't even question pulling it all off, making it look right. But when you're only a one-man band, it's hard to put that much time into that job for very little gain. Like, no one's going to get hurt, are they? Let's be honest. It's soul destroying because it knocks you back on your inspections and other jobs. But anyway, let's make a start. Stop whinging. Stop whinging. It's got to be done. Right, I'll show you what we've got. I've knocked all that reflective tape off, and yeah, I've kind of mutilated the curtain because I've had to do it with this thing. I haven't had to, but it's the only time I don't know what I'm saying. It's the only way I can do it in like a reasonable amount of time. But I have etched into the curtain a little bit. I'm hoping it doesn't look too bad when I get the reflective tape on. That's what I'm hoping. That's took me about 2 hours to get that off with a tool. I've tried it manually with this scraper. like I blunted the razor, rounded the corners, but it's just taking too long. Then I made this to try and scrape them off. Then I tried heat, which just smudged the glue everywhere. Then I tried a little sanding disc on my drill. It was damaging the curtain too much, so I opted for my block dressing tool, which I use for like dressing blocks up when you take heads off, get all the old gasket off. I did a TikTok about this, asking if there's any better options out there. A lot of people have said toffee wheel. Put a toffee wheel on your grinder, see how you get on with that, because it works on paint. Whether it works on curtains, I don't know. But that's a long job. But now I'm going to clean it all up with brake cleaner, get any residue and dust and crap off it, and reapply this new reflective tape. And I fit the reflective tape that's in segments, because if you fit a solid one, with the curtain flexing, it just peels off, so you fit the little squares, but it's all in that one strip, so you can, yes, it's pretty easy. It's just time consuming. But we're getting there. We're getting there, aren't we? It doesn't look great. I'm not best pleased about it, but can't really do what I can do, can't I? Yeah, I've got a question for you. Why is your protective tape stronger than your adhesive? I will never buy another roll of your reflective tape, because this is crap. My good lord. If I was good at editing, I'd have that SpongeBob clip that goes 3 hours later. But I'm not. So, we got it done. It doesn't actually look too bad at all. Now I've got reflective tape on. Just a long, tedious job. But now that's on, I am going to load it with anchor blocks, brake test it, and then all that wants doing is washing. But I like to brake test them before I wash them, because believe it or not, if you get water in the drums, the brake readings can actually be higher than they will be when they're dry at the test line. So I always brake test before I wash, because when I was an apprentice, we used to steam clean them on the ramp, then we'd load them, then we'd brake test them, because you couldn't put them on the ramp loaded. And the amount of times you'd do a voluntary brake test, and they'd absolutely fly for a brake test, you take them for MOT, and they'd fail on brakes. And obviously we figured out wet brakes work better. And I know a few customers that actually, when they get to the test lane, they put water in their drums. They'll put water in so they can get brakes. It's dangerous, man. So yeah, load, brake test, MOT wash. So it's find a fault truck. All loaded up, I'm just going to back her in the workshop and do a quick brake test, hopefully. Plain sailing. Let's see if computer says no. It doesn't, it says yes. So, happy days. Them brakes. So we've passed service on locks easily, 6 locks. Parking, we only got one lock, but we got 18% and pass mark 16%. So we're well up there, and the brakes freezing cold. So by the time the other lad, I'm doing all this work, he gets to present it for test tomorrow morning, so I'm not in. The other lad presents it, the brakes will be warm, so them readings, from a better man, they're only going to get better. So job's good one. Just parked it up outside the workshop to the right there. I'm just going to give it a swill off for the pressure washer, and then we'll see what's next on the rest. Keep moving. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, but a couple of my clips went corrupt. I did time lapse me steaming the trailer off ready for test, and a few other jobs I did it after that, but I lost them, so it is what it is. The trailer went on to pass its test. Brakes got better, like I said they would, once they were warm. That's the job's good, and do appreciate all the support. Every video I'm posting is getting more views, more likes, more comments, so I do appreciate it. It's growing, it's happening, something's happening. I'm trying to make truck mechanics, trying to make the youngsters coming into the trade realise this is a very rewarding and actually can be quite an exciting job to get into. That's my goal, amongst obviously other goals. I'd love to turn this channel into something where I can maybe the YouTube, because obviously you get paid from YouTube, it's not a great deal, trust me, I'm going to be as transparent as possible, it's not a lot, but as you scale stuff you do get paid a bit more through ad revenue. I'd love to be in a position where the money that's made through YouTube could fund some tools and some materials to maybe do some form of build video at some point, but we'll just play it by ear, because I'd love to do like a drift track build or a go-kart or something daft, because I love making stuff. I love my off-road vehicles. I've got dirt bikes, I've got road bikes, I've got plenty of toys. Never get time to use them, but I'd love to do a build, like a budget build that everyone could probably do with their kids or on their own. So that's my goal with this channel. Maybe make a bit of dough off it so I could afford some tube, a tube bender, stuff like that, so I could do a build. That's the goal. So I do appreciate all the support, the likes, the comments. I reply to all the comments. I'm always posting on my Instagram, so give that a follow, Tattooed Tech. I am uploading Mondays. Obviously last week was a bit slack. I'm not sure if to change that to Saturday mornings. So let me know what you think in the comments, and also what you think of the length of the videos. Are the 30-40 minute videos good, or should I make them a bit shorter? Let me know. I do appreciate it all. Catch you in the next one.